Alright, you guys ain't gonna believe this. On the 9th of November was the first time that I got into it with this sexual predator in the backyard. Before that, like I said, he never even bothered me, never really talked to me. The neighbors told me that he was all this stuff, and I said, no, it can't be, because you have to come around and register. And come to find out, you don't. You just have to register online. And I didn't think nothing of it. I didn't say, nothing to him. I didn't, Then they tell me that he threatened to poison their dogs, put a note in their yard, dropped a letter in their yard stating, and then I said, well, my dog better have died from old age. I mean, there was liver failure. Everything's on Facebook. And it's just the timing is just messed up, I'm zoned and licensed as a computer business. I just don't know what else to do now. Because I come to find out today, no wonder I got a fine yesterday. Because it makes more sense now. There's my zoning permit and my licenses. So it makes more sense now why I got a fine. Because my neighbor tells me that on the 9th, when he kicked in my fence and I told the police officers that I wanted to, press charges against him because I had 3 witnesses. The cop gave me a case number, and I believe the cop's name was Nunez. And I'm talking to my neighbors today, letting them know what happened with the court yesterday. And my neighbor tells me that they went down the day before and talked to a different officer, and that officer told him that no case numbers, no info was ever created on the 9th, that day that he kicked in and broke the fence. And I asked them, nothing was ever done. And then on the 10th, I called back for them because he was out there talking crap to me, and 2 police officers, I've got the video and everything. 2 police officers came and went out back and talked to him again. It was like 7 o'clock at night, and it was dark, but you can see the police cars. And then the 11th, which is Veterans Day, right after I post that, don't mess with me today, and I find out Tom Smith, the next door neighbor, he's on my Facebook, so I'm sure he probably went back there and told him today would be the perfect day to mess with this guy. And that's the day that I got the case, and I got the ticket. But on the 9th, they gave him a ticket for breaking my fence, and even gave me a case number. I find out today, nothing was ever generated. My lawyer's going to love this one, because I got a $465 fine. My lawyer wants to sue these guys. Man, I didn't want to. But now, what else am I going to do? I called down there. I asked them to please send out Officer Nunez the next day. And they sent out a different officer that didn't know what was going on. They went over there and they believed Tom. And I know why now, because there was nothing in the computer. They would have believed me if it had been in the computer. But there was nothing in the computer. And yeah, I was straight up honest with them and told them, yes, I did it. But he was provoking me to do it. And even at the end of when I slapped him, he said, now I got you. And you know what? Like I told the judge in court the other day, and obviously he didn't see that I had a case against him. There's even a case against him for saying that he's going to kill one of the other neighbor's dogs. And the Pueblo PD and the vet lady came and said, we'd like to dig up your dog. And I said, no, because if you do, and I find out it's him, I'm going to kill him. And the cop just shook his head. He didn't say nothing to me, because last time I threatened him, he said, you can't threaten him in front of us. They didn't say nothing. They just shook their head. And I told them I don't want to dig up my dog, because if I find out, I'll just freaking flip out. If something happens to another one of my dogs, you know, it's just wrong. Some girl on Facebook, you know, started talking crap to me like the neighbors in the back and the drug dealers across the street. Like that has anything to do with me. Like I'm not a good person. I jumped off a bridge in Korea to save a bunch of people that were drowning on October 31st in the freezing cold while everybody else just stood there. I saved 2 of 7 people that were drowning, and the only reason I couldn't save the others is because the hatches were locked and, you know, there was no getting them underneath the water. I was put in for a soldier's medal, and they can't give me a soldier's medal because Korea's still an active war zone. They would have to give me Medal of Honor, and they didn't want nobody to know about what happened to those guys. It ain't out there nowhere. And I don't care about that kind of stuff. When the general gave me the on the spot award and a coin, I threw that shit right in the river. You know what? I'm just sick of this. I'm just going to have to do the court thing and sue and get paid and get out of this east side, I guess. You know, it's not the way I wanted to do it, but I guess they're leaving me no choice. If the Pueblo PD calls me back and says there's no cases, I don't know. I'm going to tell my lawyer, George Volschultz, and he's going to wig out. All right, bye.